Today is the anticipated day as the quarantiners from the WSL get released into the wild. Nick, I think we have some footage. Let's roll that.
Any Kind live.
Hi guys.
And the Any Kind call is real. Getting kind of Any Kind.
What kind of work is this, you two?
Of Any Kind live.
Look at the chain is out, gigantic, and he wants to land the same. What's in your board bag?
Wait, dude. Let's do the show.
Sorry. Oh, come on.
Peace, come. Just go?
Yeah, start the show. Come on.
Oh, start the show.
We've already got it, dude. Yeah, that's Any Kind, bro. Go.
Welcome to another Any Kind Live. And as always, our support squad over in Santa Cruz, California, Freeline Surf Shop. Maybe the best surf shop in the entire world. We got Pete Mel joining us. And Pete, we're going to link up with a friend today.
Hi, Kaipo. I miss you.
I miss you too, Pete. So, Pete, when people go to prison, and you break the rules, the punishment is solitary confinement, which is actually like it takes away a lot of stuff, you know, that people need. But one thing that can change in solitary confinement and turn it into actually like a good time, an enlightening time, is having a computer and Wi-Fi. And through those miracles and friends, and through those miracles, Pete, let's welcome the WSL's own Joe Turpel. Hey, Joe.
Kaipo, Pete, oh my gosh. It is so incredible to see my friends today. Thanks for, I know you're doing this for me. You just wanted to check in on me, so thanks so much.
Oh,
well, you're
of course. We look forward to it.
Stoked, man. It's I miss you guys. I'm a big fan of AKL, and man, I was always wondering when I was going to get the call up. So this is perfect, man. It's making my Thursday down here today, out on Monday. So I'm in the countdown, and I really miss you guys.
Yeah, you're getting there. You're almost there.
Almost there, man. 22nd down here, March 22nd. We get to leave at 4 a.m. at the earliest, and there's actually an end time. I'm like, who in the world is going to ask for a late checkout? But maybe people are getting acclimated to all the service and free food. But maybe someone's like, you know what? This is too good. I'm staying, you know?
There's no way.
Well, Joe, I already heard from, it was Brazilian media that there was the kind of a breaking story on yourself and Kyle Ibelli perhaps trying to escape quarantine. What's with that story right there? Because you guys were spotted peeking into the hall.
Oh, that was so funny. So we've been getting these gifts, and you get a knock at the door, but it also could mean lunch, breakfast, dinner, things like that as well. And so there's a security guard in the hallway, and they'll knock at your door, and then you go, oh, it's a surprise, you know? And they brought us these really cool shoes, these On running shoes. They're super rad. And I opened the door, and Kyle is at the next room, and he heard my voice talking to the person who delivered them because they took a photo. They're like, let's get a shot with the shoes. And then Kyle's like, hey, I know you. Like, hadn't had any human interaction. And we've got masks on in our doorway, and they're like, stay in your doorway, you know? And, but it was classic because Kyle me after, he's like, I couldn't believe I saw like someone I knew because it's been a long time. I mean, we've got FaceTime and all that stuff, but in person, I think that's what everyone's missing the most, you know?
The energies, right? It's a transfer of energies, Joe. Right? It's what it is. You know, I'm missing that.
It's real. It's a real human.
And it's real. Like your security is real. I saw there's actual guys in the hall 24/7 watching your guys' doors. So it's real.
Dude, I just opened the door, and I was kind of nervous in the beginning. I just like grabbed the lunch, and I just see like size 14 Nike black shoes just in this chair. I was like, oh, that's security for sure. And I just sneak back in my room real quick.
Wow.
So we're
That's
looking
amazing.
forward, Joe, to the start of the Australian leg, and we want to thank you, of course, all the athletes at WSL, because we're itching to get competition going again, and the sacrifices that you guys are doing to make it happen. This is 2021. How many Australian legs have you done? Because you've been doing this for a while. You're a veteran now.
Yeah, that's a good question. I remember going to Australia for like World Junior Champs in North Narrabeen back in the day. And that was kind of my introduction to coming to Australia to work. And then Bell's first, the Rip Curl event. Rip Curl was bringing me here originally. And I was always watching Pete and the crew at Snapper. And so I didn't come to Snapper until 2014 when the WSL was in charge of the entire tour. But I was coming to Bell's, World Junior Champs at North Narrabeen, then Burleigh. And I was coming to Oz, but doing the entire leg didn't really happen until 2014, where I was actually, that year I was going to Snapper to call it for the first time. I'd been there before to surf. And then Margaret River as well. That was my first trip to West Oz, that 2014 season.
Wow. So so you're a veteran in campaigns over there. I want to ask you a little bit. Have you been to Newcastle? I mean, what should we expect the first event?
I've never been to Newcastle, so this will be my first time going. I've watched a lot of Newcastle. And gosh, I think we're going to be expecting all kinds of stuff. We like checking the footage lately of what it's been like. It's been like solid, kind of messy, stormy. It could be incredibly challenging. It's like one of those waves that can have the incredible moments, but I feel like a lot of guys that have done the QS there every year will have an advantage to have all the experience behind them of knowing how the wave can change pretty drastically day to day. So yeah, I'm really curious. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
It'll be like that kind of gamble on how good those French sandbars are. I think Newcastle is going to be in the same boat. Like you could score some pretty incredible days, but I have a feeling throughout an entire waiting period, there's going to be a round or two that, will be pretty grindy.
So, I mean, with Pete's comment, is the Newcastle event mobile? Because there's Meriwether's a point, right? And then there's Beach Break in Newcastle. Do you know?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel I'm going to get up there a little bit early and check it all out and hopefully get some updates on that. But I'm not sure about the mobility of the event. I don't know. You look back though, and I was looking at some old footage, and like Julian's one there. Some big names that would just get a warm up start would go there to start. Sally, Steph on that side have had finals, so it's not a total just surprise for a lot of these surfers. I was talking to Felipe the other day, and he was saying that he hadn't been there in 7 years, but that was his first QS, and he had instant success. I think for a Michelle Perez, he was like, man, have I been there? Like they have to think about it. But I think, for these guys and how hungry they've been to compete, I think they're just going to celebrate being back in the water. I think there'll be less of that, oh man, the waves aren't good today. If we end up with one of those days, I feel like everyone's like, oh, so thankful that we're back on,
Yeah. Pro surfers are thankful to be back at work, right? So, Narrabeen, you've been there. What do we expect there?
I like that wave. That wave's neat. It's really fun. I got stung by a blue bottle there, as they call them over here. That hurt so bad. Like I felt it like in my armpits and stuff. Like it attacked the lymph nodes. I was like, someone was running down the beach and saying something to me, and I was just like, give me a second, man. Like that thing really hurt. But aside from the blue bottle moment, my experience was like, man, it was really fun. A real rippable wave, and I feel like it's like setting up this return to like rewarding massive airs and progression because of the venues. It's going to be tons of big airs, progressive surfing, which I really, really enjoy. I'd say more so than running at traditional Bells, which we'll always miss because it's the history and how incredible that wave is. But I feel like with these new venues, it opens up so much confidence probably in those air guys and the guys that aren't afraid to get super radical and mix it up a bit,
Yeah, so that's some hot tip for a fantasy surfer. participants, right? Is when you're picking your team, especially starting off at Newcastle. Surfing is tremendously selfish, and having to worry about someone else while you are trying to get this really like isolated, selfish job done to win on your own can be a challenge. What do you think, Joe, about the single versus, married crew coming into Australia?
Yeah, I think it's a practice that can create great results. First person I think of is Joel Parkinson. I think one of the first guys, maybe the only, we could fact check it, but first guy to win a world title, bringing his family to every event, and not just a wife, but 3 beautiful kids. And that made him perform better because there was total understanding. It's like, this is a huge job. If he's warming up and surfing, like, he's doing that. He's able to focus knowing that his family's not only just okay, but they're stoked and they're proud of him. They're supporting him, and I think there might be a learning curve if someone's, trying to make sure everything's settled at the home and comfortable and balanced, and then trying to go warm up and compete. I think sometimes balancing all that takes a learning curve of when you're on the road and you have a job to do. So I feel like everyone who's married in the off season and have these relationships, they know what they're signing up for, and this is game time. So when they're preparing, they have to have that 100% like backing support of like, go surf all day, work on your boards, and then to have that beautiful part of when you have a lay day or you've been on the road for a while or you have a tough result, you have your wife there to go see or your husband on the other side. I think that balance is probably easier for some. There's, you think about life of a pro surfer. It's like you meet someone special and then you go to the girl and you go, hey, like, we went on 2 dates. Do you want to go jump on an airplane and, continue this? Or maybe I'll see you in 2 months, 3 months. So I think the story of relationships on tour, some are quick because just of the lifestyle, you don't have time to date traditionally. And then some create these really amazing global relationships where they actually were dating on the road and going to trips, balancing heat wins and losses with meeting their now wives or husbands. So I think some will be very used to it. For Medina, speaking straight to him, he loves his family there. Like he wants to bring grandparents, like cousins, like his entourage in a typical contest arena was a lot of human beings, and he was obviously winning. So I think that recipe of bringing home with him is great. And now that he's really in love with his wife and doing this for the first time together, I think he's going to find this a new chapter is going to be really rewarding for him too.
Hey, that was great insight. This is what I'm starting to look for is predictions. Like, come on. Like, we have to make predictions, okay?
Okay.
And let's just look at semifinals on. So top 4 men, top 4 women, go.
Ooh,
no.
I like this. I'm going to say that you're going to be, well, no, not surprised. I think there's Jack Robinson's going to be there. John's going to be there. And John's going to be there, but it's going to be a different type of because I'm trying to think if John's even had a competition at Newcastle. Would you know that, Joe?
I'm not sure either.
I don't think he's ever competed there. So anyway, I think he's on fire. So that's going to be part of it. And I want him to do
You're
well.
halfway there, Pete. Halfway there.
Okay. Am I taking too much time?
No.
Ethan Ewing and Italo.
All right. And what about the women?
Women. Tyler Wright.
Yeah.
Lakey is gonna. She's had a little redemption. She's been in Newcastle. I think that she's gonna want to go there and blaze some story there. So that she's in there. Lakey. Caroline, since she was able to get that false positive freaking kicked out of court and get herself on the plane, and she's quarantining, so she's going to be there. And who's the last one? Who is the last one?
She's won a couple world titles. Just a few. She likes Kiwalos as much as I do. I'm feeding you an
wild
answer. No.
Steph Gilmore. She's in Oz.
Okay.
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 There's 4.
Right. Fair enough.
Did you write that
Pretty
down
good.
so that I can remember that? It's Tyler. Who did I say, Joe?
You
Don.
picked Ethan Ewing.
Italo, Ethan
John.
Ewing, and Jack
Italo.
Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta stick to that. See, you challenged me. I didn't even know what I was gonna be picking. I was like,
That's good though. That's from your heart. Joe, your picks: top 4 men, top 4 women. It doesn't have to be in order.
In
Like whatever. Whoever makes the semifinals. Yeah.
There's something I'm sort of thinking with Kolohe and Dino, just the time he sat on tour and just these type of venues. Personally, I think he's incredible in beach breaks specifically. A lot of his great qualifying results were in beach breaks. That challenge, his surfing really pops in those kind of conditions. He's powerful.
He's seen it.
Just
France.
Just lately, yeah, he's looking.
Kaipo and Peter.
France, exactly. He always just fit into beach breaks. His best results when he qualified were always France, Portugal. He's got a 10 in
Joe,
Europe.
you thought about this.
Well, I'm just thinking about it. Like it's cool to see a guy that's been on tour as long as he has been, and when you see a schedule change a bit, all of a sudden you're going Newcastle, Narrabeen for Kolohe. This is great. Like I feel like he really pops into my top 4 quickly. Medina, I feel like he's ready to ramp up. Weirdly enough, he's number 2 in the world, but still is carrying like an underground feel to him, like media-wise. Ethlo's getting all the hype, all these clips, and I feel like, man, he's number 2 in the world right now, and like he can make, tough conditions look incredible. So Medina, Kolohe, I'm with you on this Ethan Ewing thing. I just can't get enough of his surfing. Like I want to surf like that. It's so insane how good that kid is. So I think I've got to throw him on my top 4. And then with the win, one more. For my top 4 men, I'm going to go with the Connor O'Leary factor of just this back to tour, super powerful. And he'll be the guy that just hit a meaty section a couple of big times, bang, bang, and like get a big result. He'll be under the radar too, but he's been here. He's warming, he's training. He had the feeling of falling off tour, and he's got something to prove. So women-wise, Caroline, I'm with you on that. Gosh, she is just so happy to be here again. And I think Newcastle, like next year, she's going to win one of those events, if not like both of them. I'm really feeling like a great start here for Caroline. I'm also really liking Lakey in her headspace right now coming into these 4 events, and she's improved a lot in the West as well. And also looking at Carissa Moore. And for my 4th, I am going to go, since it's Newcastle and she's actually done this event a lot to warm up for the tour, Sally Fitzgibbons.
I love that. I'm with you on the Sally Fitzgibbons thing. I was going to say that just because she's competed at the venue a number of times, and so she's going to be the most familiar with that venue out of all the women coming through. So good picks, guys. This was just the first part in a series of conversations with Joe. In the next episode, we're going to talk surfboard gear, surfboard shaping, and much more. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like it with a thumbs up, leave your comments below. We'll see you again on Any Kind Live.
It's the time of the teacher that you feel the wooden splinters. It's all your games are still played the same.